Hi guys, so today's video should have been kind of nice and glossy and luxurious and what have you, but it's not, because what I've done is I've gone through all of my bags right now, because lots of you have asked for a bag collection on like Instagram. When I asked what you wanted to see, a bag collection was like a very high on the list. So I thought I would get everything out and kind of open up my bag, see what's inside, see what I have been stashing away in there, and perhaps what I've lost for months and months and months that I've now found. I went through it all. I did that in a Vlogmas vlog. If you want to watch that, you can. It was basically just like, what is all this trash? And then a lot of lip products. And then the odd random thing. I also had a copy of my book, which was an incidental plug. Lifestyling. You may enjoy this book, even if you are not a mother. It is not about that. It's about confidence and self-esteem and being over 30 and lots of other jazz and self-care and relationships and style, also finding your style, but you might enjoy that this close to Christmas. But I'm going to run through for you now what I have, and we're not going to make this a monster long video. I don't want to go through like reviews and stuff. I may have a few comments on each, but really, if there's anything from here that you would like me to go into detail about, or if you would like me to compare, then I will. I'm just kind of going to run through, because there's a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm going to run through all the different bags that I've got. Right, I'm going to start in some kind of vague order, and I have 3 from Cambridge Satchel. The first one, I think this is the 13-inch, the original Satchel, and the colour is Oxblood. I have hardly worn this. Look, it looks brand new. It has hardly been worn. I think had I not had this monogrammed, I probably would have sold it, because it's not my style, really. It might be at some point, and I think if I'd worn it more and it had become a little bit softer, it might have been more my style. But originally I bought it because I love the colour, I love the style, it's a nice style, and it fit my laptop in it. And it was relatively inexpensive in terms of designer bags. It's not really a designer bag, you know, it was a name, it was a label that people were interested in at the time, and there were always offers on. So I purchased this, was really happy with it, barely ever wore it. So this is kind of something that stays in my collection, and maybe one day I will reach for it. The second one is very, very similar. This I got on sale. Again, I had it monogrammed, but I got this one blind embossed. I don't know if you can see with this light, but there is just an just there. I really like this. This is called the Push Lock Satchel, I think. I think that's the name of it. And I do enjoy this bag, but the white is not for me. I would get this in another colour in a heartbeat, because it is a really gorgeous bag. And I think they do maybe a smaller and a larger now. Not 100% sure. This actually might be the large. And it fits a lot in it. There's just nothing to it. It's just there's no lining whatsoever. And I will put a chain on here. I've got some chain straps to use on these bags instead of the ones that came with, because I'm not a massive fan of the leather ones. But yeah, the white is not really my colour, is the only problem with that. Again, I think it was just like a bargain. Now this one I actually used quite a bit. This, I learned my lesson. I didn't get this one embossed with my initials. And I'm trying to remember what this one's called. I think it's called the Cloud. This is very Mulberry. In fact, I will show you. I have the Lily. And I just think there's a real Mulberry vibe with this particular one. In fact, I was wearing this when I went round to my friend's house when I first got it, and they said, "Oh, I really love your bag," asking questions about it and stuff, and they assumed it was Mulberry, so that's that. I actually have in here, it's stuffed. It doesn't really need to be stuffed. It definitely doesn't need to be stuffed now, but initially it was very, very difficult to get into, very difficult to get lots of stuff in and out of. Oh, I have a Zoltar. I think I took this with us to LA. And I believe this is from Santa Monica Pier. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed this. Again, this comes with its own leather strap, which is quite cute, but I don't love a leather strap because it's like cumbersome. So when you take the leather strap off, what I like about a chain is it just falls. Whereas the leather strap feels a bit like, you know what I mean? So I've taken them all off. I've still got them rolled away in my accessories drawer, but I again will put a little gold chain on this one. And I love it. I think it's a really nice one. I would buy it again. I would buy another one of these, and I would buy the larger size of this in a heartbeat. I think these flat bags from Cambridge Satchel were absolutely inspired. Right, now while we have it, also I'm going to put a little bit of stuffing back in this one because I've used it recently and I didn't restuff it. So this is the Mulberry Lily. The colour is I want to say it's called Midnight. It's like a very, very, very dark blue. And I love the silver hardware. That totally sold me on this. I love that it was almost black, but not black, which made it a little bit different, but still really easy to wear. My problem with this bag is I'm super, super nervous of carrying it because I feel like the quality of mulberry leather is just so high and it's just so soft and gorgeous that it just doesn't hold its shape. And I think I said this in a video last year and I haven't done it yet, but I think I'm going to next year, and that is buy a bag shaper for this bag because I really want to be using it more than I do. And I'm not worried about like the actual leather itself. I'm worried about the shape of the bag. Pretty quickly I realised that this is going to scratch and I'm fine with it. Because it's silver, I don't think it's going to look too bad. Sometimes the gold can tarnish when it scratches underneath. Sometimes it shows like a silver underneath the scratch. With silver, it's not really a problem. So those things are fine. I don't mind it looking weathered, but I want it to hold this gorgeous little shape. That's why I bought the smaller size. Again, I found this in the sale. In fact, it was this time last year. I got this in the sale on Boxing Day, I think, for a really good price. I really, really love it. I'm happy that I have it, but I'm going to have to get a bag liner in order to make real use of it because I'm just not wearing it as much as I want to. Oh, I'm going to put the stuffing in now while I remember. Right, I have one in here that is not a fake, but an inspired by, that I've worn once, and it's a beautiful bag, but I have some problems with it, aside from the fact that obviously it's an inspired by bag, and that's this. I got it from eBay for next to nothing. I loved the velvet Chanel's. It was never in a million years that I was prepared to pay for a velvet Chanel, and I just thought, I'm going to buy one from eBay, see what it's like. I wanted one that didn't, like, it's clearly not a fake, it's got the circles, inspired by, but it's not trying to pass itself off as Chanel. I think if you're going to get a bag that's not leather, there are certain things that are better than others. It tends to be that a fake leather or like a pleather, whatever, a vegan leather, it doesn't look all that great. But you can get pretty good fake suede, obviously velvet, canvas, that kind of thing. As long as it's not supposed to be like a smooth leather. Pebble leather sometimes can look okay, like in a faux, but there's just a lot that look inexpensive, and you don't want to spend a fortune, but you don't want it to look cheap. You know what I mean? And I feel like a velvet, really, it can be pulled off really, really well. And I don't think this bag looks bad at all because it's velvet. I think if it was in a fake leather, it would look terrible. Also, I got it in this like gunmetal. It's cheap as chips. It's not a well-made bag at all. But from a distance, I think it's got real something to it. But like I say, I've only used it once. And the reason for that is this here. I also love this colour. This here goes into this, obviously. And it's like hollow on the inside. And it kind of catches. It's just, you know, obviously Chanel bags are not worth the price of Chanel bags. They're not. There's none of these bags that I'm going to talk about that are like hundreds and hundreds to thousands of pounds are worth that money. But they put the premium on the bag so that they become exclusive and you want them because it's like a, you know, we all know how it works. So nothing's worth the money. However, this feels particularly cheaply made. And I think if you were really interested in getting actual fake, which I don't think that I am, I don't think that's really something that I just, my concern would be that I would spend proper money on like a proper fake and then immediately be like, I can't carry this, I can't do it. Whereas that was like chump change. And maybe occasionally I might bring it out at Christmas time. It feels like a Christmas bag, but it definitely is. It's like it's very, very lightweight. It doesn't feel nice to use. It just looks nice, is how I feel. Now these two bags were both eBay purchases. They are the Philip Lim Crossbody Messenger, and they were discontinued. And I don't know why, because they are some of the nicest bags that I own, and I just love them so much. This was like my ultimate, this is my unicorn bag, and I've thought a couple of times about making a video specifically on this. Let me know if you would be interested. I forget what the colour was, but the first time I ever saw a Philip Lim bag at all was in this colour. And we were in Harvey Nichols and Lee's, and I was like, oh my God, look at this bag. This is the most gorgeous bag in the world. And it was the original medium Pashley. This is the Pashley Messenger, sorry. And the original Pashley Satchel. And I just was absolutely like dumbstruck over the colour of this bag. I know it sounds crazy, but I was like, wow. And it's what made me think of the whole range at all. And again, it's a flat bag. It's got this annoying closure that people don't like. Doesn't really bother me. Lots of space. It will fit an iPad mini down the back of here if you're interested. And it's just really, really hard wearing. I got this secondhand from eBay. I think I paid something like £70 or £80 for it. The person didn't know what they had, but then at the same time, no one else is looking for these things because this was a discontinued bag that like it feels like nobody else knows about. But the leather on this kind of, I think they called it a shark leather, is so hard wearing. I cannot recommend enough that you look for Philip Lim bags pre-owned, because even pre-owned they're going to be in pretty good nick. And this is just, it's one of my favorite bags. It's definitely one of my ones that I would absolutely never part with. One that I purchased at the beginning of this year, because ever since I got that, I've had an eBay alert for any others that came up from exactly the same style. And occasionally they'll come up. They're usually either like way out of my price range, or they look a bit beat up because they're in like too light colours, or they've just been used to death. But then every now and then there'll be a bit of a diamond that comes up, and this was one of them. So I think this is called White Peach. And I actually ended up putting this on eBay myself for a hot minute about a month ago, because I've hardly worn it. I don't know if this colour is for me. It's just not really been as useful as I thought it would be, because I just loved the other one so much. And then it didn't sell in the first week and I just took it off. And I think perhaps I'm going to keep it because, I don't know, I kind of felt like, oh, this is not for me after all. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an extra, or have a cobbler put an extra hole in the bag so it can be a proper shoulder bag, because I don't really like this colour as a long crossbody bag. I think this is more ladylike, a little bit more shoulder baggy for me. And so I think that's what I'm going to do, and then see if I use it a little bit more in the spring, summer next year. But it is a beautiful bag. I can't say enough good things about this. And if you are interested in like your first kind of mid-range designer bag, I really think it's a nice option in terms of brand, because this leather really is very hard wearing. And just to kind of give you an indication as well on the back, it's got this like very, what is that? This very strong, I don't know what that is, magnet. So it's got lots of little areas, lots of little pouches. It's just super useful. In fact, one in the back, one in the middle, one in the very front, and another one right on the back. If you like lots of compartments, you will love that. Something that I got was probably one of my last major designer bag purchases. And I think I got this 3 years ago around my birthday. I bought this for myself, and this was I say I bought this for myself. There's very few things here that weren't purchased by me. This is the Gucci Soho Disco. I wanted this for about 2 years before I pulled the trigger on it. It was the colour, again, that totally hooked me in. It wasn't the style. I was like, yeah, the style's fine, but this colour is immense. There was never even a thought of getting any other colour than this one when I finally did buy it, which seems crazy because you'd think the black one would be more useful. You're spending a lot of money. It had gone up £100 in price before, or by the time I'd finally decided to buy it. It's gone up £100 again since then. This has just become a bit of a modern icon. It just has like spiraled, which is insane. I think it's one of the things that brought Gucci back as like a main player. It's like, oh, people are interested in Gucci again, was this, and then they brought out the prints again, and it became a whole thing. I mean, I may be completely wrong, but it definitely brought it back into my sphere of interest with this particular bag being so popular. And the red was totally what sold me. And I'm now really into this kind of lozenge style kind of camera bag. I really like the amount of space that it gives. Again, this is like the absolute maximum space. It's a lot like the Cambridge Satchel one, in that you open it up and there's no like messing around inside. It is just completely empty, and you can really fit a lot of stuff in here. This is one that I'm definitely going to do a video on, like what fits, because for those of you that are considering that purchase, I think you would be really, really shocked by how much fits in that bag. Okay, I have two Alexander Wang. I have a Rocky and a Rocco. We'll start with the Rocco. So this again was like a major iconic bag that people were talking about for quite some time, and I was totally obsessed. I really, really wanted one, and up to this point I think I had purchased, trying to remember, I should have done this in the order in which I bought them. I think this may be my third designer bag that I purchased, and I really wanted the black one. I wanted the black one with the gold, with the rose gold underneath, but I was never going to pay full price for it. I just wasn't in a position to do that at the time. I was always on eBay looking for something, and eventually this came up, and this colour is forest. It's got gunmetal underneath. I mean, even with the stuff I'm wearing right now, this is like so my colours. These, like, this whole thing. Also this, I think, was from H&M. I wanted to take this off, actually, because I just got a bag I think would look really cute on. I was trying to remember which bag I'd put this on. This is cute. I put this on my little Chanel as well. I remember someone asking me if it was like Fendi or something insane, which is hilarious because it cost me about £5. So this was just like immediately, yes, absolutely. It is worn. There's a little area down here where the piping has broken, but I don't care. I hardly ever wear this, truth be told. It's very, very heavy, but I still wouldn't part with it, and I really do love it. There are certain things that when you've lusted after them for so long and you eventually get them, they're just kind of like, when they hit the spot and they're everything you dreamed of. That was exactly that. And then one day, I did eventually get the smaller one, which was the mini. I think this is called the Rocky. Yeah, they've got the Rocky and then the mini Rocky, which I have had the mini Rocky, and it's very, very difficult to get in and out of because the opening is much, much smaller. This is the perfect size, I think. I don't know if they did something in terms of the weight of the hardware between that one and this one, but if you are worried about weight, I don't think this is too heavy. I mean, it is. This is stuffed right now. It's just stuffed with like a towel and stuff. It is heavy. This is a lot of hardware on a bag. It is heavy. You know, don't buy it if you're only prepared to have a very, very light bag, because it's not going to be that. But I think in terms of comparison, this is a lot lighter. And again, it had the beautiful rose gold. You can see some wear on this one. Probably one of my most worn bags. And I never think of it. I thought of this recently, and I thought, you know, I've got no black bags. And I think this is, I mean, I've got one specific black bag, which I'll show you in a second. But I never think of this one. I'll wear it for months and months and months and months, and then I put it away and just completely forget I own it. But it has got like little bits of wear around here. But I don't think it's obvious. I think it looks pretty good still. And I am very, very happy with that one. Again, wouldn't part with it. Okay. I have a couple of summer bags, or 3, let's say, summer bags, which are no specific brand. They're not like designer bags or anything, but these are ones that I've really enjoyed, and I would enjoy similar things in the future. This one, I'm just gonna like clip it back in again so you can see. This one I think was from, what's the brand called? Parfois. And then when I looked this up last summer, I couldn't find anything from the brand. Like, I think they sold it at Debenhams, and then they didn't sell it anymore, which was annoying. So what I liked about this was it was able to be cinched in or large. So if you look, it can be kind of like tucked in at the side, or it can be large at the side. It looks cuter tucked in, but if you're like me and you've got lots of stuff, you just kind of want to throw things in there, it just kind of gives you a little bit more in terms of options. I did think last summer that I wanted to buy like a nice looking kind of, maybe like a tapestry or woven guitar strap for this. I think this would look really nice. Again, I think this is, I think it's got a suede, like a real suede section here, and then everything else is pleather. Is pleather still a word that we use? So as you can see, you know, this is not amazing, but the whole front of the bag, I don't think looks too bad at all. And it just goes with everything. I really like this as a summer bag. One thing I am planning on looking at when I go to New York is in Rebecca Minkoff. I would really like a mini Mac in that kind of suede-y kind of colour. This is the one that I was talking about in my vlog that I found absolutely everything in, because this has been, like you can see, I'm losing tassels all over the shop. I would buy this again in a heartbeat. This was from H&M. I bought it last summer, so I will have had it 18 months. I used it all last summer. I used it all this summer, and it's just gorgeous. It doesn't look inexpensive. Again, I don't want to be, I can't find the right word. I don't want to say it doesn't look cheap, because I know that the word has connotations and it offends people. What I mean to say is, you don't want to have to spend money on something. It's nice for something to be inexpensive, but you don't want something to look inexpensive. I think we can all agree on that. I'm not saying that you have to spend a lot of money on something. I'm not saying that if something is inexpensive, then that's bad. I'm saying that you don't want something to look inexpensive. In the same way that I am more than happy to buy a £5 foundation that performs like a £30 foundation, I don't want a £5 foundation to look like a £5 foundation. Are you with me? I just feel I should mention that because this kind of subject can be triggering, let's say, in terms of arguments on the internet, and that's not what I mean. But I think you could potentially see this in a more expensive shop and think it was completely at home, is what I'm saying. And I wore it absolutely to death, and I would love another one. This is getting quite worn now, but I will wear it again all next summer. This I got because I thought it was going to be a good addition, like that bag. I got this from Primark this year, but I think I'm going to be doing away with this because there's no fastening, it's too low. If it was higher up, then maybe, but it kind of hits on my hip and then it's just all open. I think if it was like this, no, it's just not, it just kind of missed the mark for me. So I think that I will be doing away with that at some point. Oh, and they were the only bags that I want to show you in that category. Okay, moving on. Talking of Phillip Lim, this was my second ever big purchase, and I think I was looking at the Michael Kors Selma originally, and then we were in Harvey Nichols and we were looking at this bag, you know, the one, the teal, the, oh my God, amazing, beautiful metallic teal colour. And Lee said, but if you're going to buy this, which was like, I don't know, let's say the Selma was £250, £300. This was then, you know, let's say a few £100 more than that. It was a lot cheaper then than it is now. Then why don't you just kind of wait and buy the slightly more expensive one that feels like it's going to hold its value and it's like a slightly nicer bag. And looking back, like the Selma was not my style at all. It's, I don't like the Saffiano leather, the Saffiano leather. And it was definitely just everyone had it and I wanted to have it because everyone had it. This is definitely more my kind of thing. The only problem with this, I mean, this colour. I have an unboxing video on this channel of this from the years ago that I bought it. And I got a really, really good deal on it. I think I bought it from mywardrobe.com, now defunct luxury website, but I did get a good deal. This colour is Orchid. Again, it's got a gunmetal hardware. It is one of my absolute favourite bags and I hardly ever wear it. And the reason for that is that I don't tend to wear a bag like this. I tend to wear a bag over my shoulder, so that's why the strap is still attached. But this doesn't look great when it's held like this. If you can see, it doesn't look great. Now, I recently purchased a bag that I have been carrying like this. And so, if that continues, I may bring this out and see whether or not I can get more use from it. It is quite heavy and heavy to be worn on the crook of my arm. But again, I'll never get rid of it because it's just memories, beautiful colour. And at the time, I was just like, absolutely couldn't get enough of it. Oh, one of my very, 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 very first bags of any kind of label at all, in fact, this might be it, was this. And you may not even know what this is. Even those of you who are like into this, like Rebecca Minkoff, etc., may not even recognise it because it's too big. It's not the Mini Mac, obviously. It's not even the Mac. It is the Mac Daddy, and this is the largest one. This, I think, would actually fit my laptop in it. Don't quote me on that, but I do believe I have tried it in the past with my MacBook Air 11. I don't know about the 13, but it's actually got in here a padded pocket, which is supposed to be for an iPad. And again, something I don't use enough. I for sure should bring this out and use this more often because this is totally the kind of bag that I will keep forever again for sentimental reasons because Lee bought this for me. But also, it just is, it still kind of fits with everything. What I really like about the Rebecca Minkoff bags is there are always different ways to wear the chains. So this is, I can't push it through. Yes, I can. This is supposed to be like a shoulder or a crossbody, but if you clip the chain back through, if you loop it through and clip it back through, you can make it like an even shorter shoulder bag. You can make it like, you know what I mean? I like options like that. That's what appeals to me about a lot of the Rebecca Minkoff bags. And I'm going to keep this to one side because I want to remember that I have this and use it more when we do the rotation in the new year because we're going to be rotating bags more often. Okay. Oh, another cheaper bag that I bought recently was this one from Primark. I thought it was cute in general. This is not a fantastic looking, like, faux anything. But I liked the style of the bag. But what I really liked about it was this. I think I paid £5 or £6 for this bag. And what I really bought it for was this strap. I'm going to put this on my Louis Vuitton pochette accessoire, you know, the like wider accessory one. And I'm going to wear it like a bag. I just think this is, I've got chains and stuff that I use that with, but I thought this was like a cute, different way of doing it. And especially with the new pochette bag that they brought out, the one that's got all the different accessory bags all together. I thought it kind of like is that on a budget. What else have we got? Okay, I'm gonna do a couple more things to show you. This is the, what is this called? Rebecca Minkoff. I want to say Adrian, that's not right at all. What is this called? Is it with a J? Julian. Okay, so this is a backpack. I wanted the leather one. I bought the leather one and it was too small. I wanted one that would fit my iPad in it. Eventually I got the nylon one from eBay. I think I paid £50 for this and it was brand new. I would be interested in getting one of the suede ones. Again, that kind of tawny tan brown suede colour for summer I think would be really cute in a mini back or in one of these. But I want to see it in person because the thing that I struggled with this style of bag, with this it's like you can fit anything in it. This is like the nylon, throw it all in, whatever. But with the leather and the suede, every single website gave me different dimensions. So I really want to see it in person. And there's very few places in the UK where you can actually see Rebecca Minkoff bags. So I think I'm going to be looking for that when we're in the US as well. Another kind of travel-y style bag that I've got is this. This is from, I was going to say Aspinall. That's not right at all. Longchamp. It's the Longchamp Le Pliage Neo. The Neo range is colour matched. Is that what I mean? Color coded? Anyway, means that the nylon fabric here and the leather handles and the detailing and stuff is all the same color. So like the red one is red leather, the beige one is beige leather. The thing that always put me off about the Longchamp Le Pliage bags in the past is I didn't like the brown leather. And so this was like a complete game changer. And I've had this for I think a year and a half and I love it. I mean, it weighs literally nothing. It's just nothing. I would buy another one in a different colour for sure. I think this has been really, really useful. If we go away for a night, I can throw everything in there. If we are going away and I want a carry-on, I can use this. It's just been really, really useful. And I think I got this in the large. I have got some actual videos on this if you are interested in more information on that. But I also may do a carry-on video before our trip in January. Okay. First ever proper designer bag that I ever got was this one. This is the no it's not. It's the Louis Vuitton Neverfull in MM. Again, I have loads of videos about this as well. Never regretted it for a single second. And obviously it's now more expensive because it comes with the pouch. But if anything, I've considered buying another one in a different print because I just love this bag. I go back to it over and over and over again. There was maybe a period of 6 months, 1 year where I was like really, really not into tote bags, only wanted crossbodies. And then I always go back to it, always, completely. I love it so much. And also I got this at the same time. It depends on the place that you go to, whether or not they will sell you these without luggage now. Some people have said they've gone in and said that they've got luggage, but the tag has gone missing or whatever. But this completely makes the bag for me. I mean, obviously I would wear it without it, but I do think it's cute. I don't love the monogramming here for me, but I really liked that. And the fact that I've got this makes me think that if I did eventually get a Speedy, I may get it in the Damia Ben print so that I know I have that because I really like the Speedy with the little tag on as well. Okay, last thing. I do have one other bag other than this, but I haven't technically used it, or this is the Rebecca Minkoff ED. I'm not actually, can you believe I opened it and I have not used it? I'm trying to save it because it's my birthday present. I'm trying to save it for a holiday. So I'm not including this in that. But at some point in the future, we may do some like individual collections from different brands. And if I come away from New York with what I think I will, we may have a Rebecca Minkoff one to talk about. So this is the Bedford Satchel, my most recent unboxing. And I've been wearing this for like a week and a half at this point. It's full of junk. Because I've been wearing it for a week and a half and that's my style. What I would say about this is the leather is very, very soft. It's already started to kind of soften and get slouchy, which I really, really like. But if you'd bought this over the Reagan because you thought it was going to be a little bit more structured, a little bit more smooth, you know, long wearing, not quite as rugged looking. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think this is still, in a pebbled leather, this is still going to be a kind of slouchy looking bag. It's just going to have more structure to it than the Reagan, which is a bit more like the Balenciaga City bag. But I love it. I think it's really cute. Also, I did think that this might look cute on here. We'll see. We will learn together if it does. Oh, I think it does. Kind of like comes to the end to the same thing as well. Not so much, but I think that looks quite cute on there. Let me know what you think. So that's everything. I know this is excessive, obviously. There've been things that have come and gone in my collection. There's been things that I have sold when I haven't been using them, or because I just feel like I spent too much money on that, and it's not serving me. Sometimes I've had something that I spent like £1,500 to £2,000 on, and it makes me feel sick that I own it alongside other things. And so I've sold it and just had the money instead. It all depends on your circumstances at the time. Everything is relative. The things that I have. Oh, I did forget one thing, which is hilarious, that I forgot to mention. My one Chanel. But again, I have videos on this. We can talk about this in a different video. But this is my baby. This is by far my most expensive handbag. I bought it for my 30th birthday. And I bought it from Heathrow, so I got a really good deal on it. This was several years ago. They've already got an open price. I could already get my money back because it's in such good condition. So I feel good about that one. But there are some that I have purchased and I've just immediately been like, oh my God, like, why did I spend that money? It's not going to hold its value. It doesn't seem like it's going to hold up over time. And I've definitely experienced a regret. And I'm not in a position where I can just kind of keep things for the sake of keeping things. Maybe I need to sell something to fund another purchase. These things happen. So yeah, things have gone in and out. Some of these things may go. Some of these things may be added to. But ultimately, it is all excessive. Luxury is a luxury. It is not a necessity. And there are plenty of bags from plenty of different places on the high street that are just as great. It's just a matter of what you're into and what your budget allows, because often my budget does not allow for designer handbags, but I still want to buy something cute. In fact, the Rebecca Minkoff obsession is completely being reignited because I feel like it's a slightly more, not more expensive, slightly more reasonable obsession to have. You can often find really good deals online, and it gives me kind of a little fix. It gives me a little thing of a what's next, a thing that I can kind of look at and browse without feeling like, oh my God, this is so expensive. Because it kind of sucks you in, this whole luxury world. When I start watching these kind of videos, I'm like, oh my God, I need more things. So don't feel like that after watching this video. That's the last thing that I want anyone to feel like. But I hope this has been entertaining or useful for those of you who wanted to see what I have. Maybe you were trying to see like maybe what I don't have anymore from other videos that I've posted in the past. And if you do want any specific reviews on any of these, any comparisons, or if you've got any questions, let me know. I will do my best to get through them all. And other than that, Merry Christmas. And I will see you guys after the big day. Bye.